jump on it, jump on it. Jump on it, jump on it.
Jump on it, ride it like Jockey. The hell smoking that loud, they see yak with mama. Making mama proud, popping it like shotty. Turn up, it's a gangster party.
PT, ain't never popped a Mari, but if I ever catch Mac, I'ma pop a Harley. I don't even rob a cop the Harley. Blowing so much green, I shame Marley. Yeah, I push the line to its full limit. Hit the hole like 22, boy, I'm a young Emmett. Nothing go like snow, now that's a cold image. Still whistling, sending, knocking them white women. Only reason I do it to avenge image. To the day they go before anybody box me out. Knowing me, it don't matter, I simply take my route. On my hobby.
My bad, y'all couldn't hear me. West. Welcome to the Damu Kiwe Conversations. Home of the West Coast. Voice of the culture. It's Duse M's the dime. We right back at you, man. We got the content. So I'm going to get into this content. Shout out Smoked Out TV. He hit me up with it this morning. So I knew this is what I was going to do. So he had CS2 back. Had some, he had one of the 100 EBT clowns, Prince, East Coast nigga. Don't know nothing about the politics. All the way up out of the politics. Hold on, this is the GOAT. When the GOAT call your phone, bang that like button on your way in. Hello, brother. I was looking for that video where CS2 back was talking about him and Stutterbox, the Eagle Beagle, you know what I'm saying? Okay, all right. Well, I'm live, so I'll talk to you later, brother. Yeah, when the GOAT call, you got to answer. You know what I'm saying? Most scandalous Los Angeles TV, the No Cap Network. Salute. Bang that like button. Bang that like button. I didn't share it, and then I just went live with about 15 minutes to spare. Luke Gage, salute, bro. You know what I'm saying? So hold on. Let me go to my boy Smoked Out. He sent me that shit earlier, and it's the dude Prince. Exposes WACK100's paperwork from his Texas gun case, but he doesn't ever expose the paperwork. Udo on the go, salute, bro. What's popping? You know what I'm saying? Salute to the chat. Bloody Main 5. Salute y'all. Hit that like button, man. So he talked, oh man, they just lie, man. And the cold thing about it, why would you be lying about a case unless you got something to hide? You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, we finna get into this content. We ain't gonna wait. Hit that like button, man. I'm gonna be sharing it when we while we watching this, but we ain't waiting on nobody else. Let's go. And we're gonna break down the whole Texas paperwork on this live. So if you ain't never got a dose of it, get a dose of it today, because we got it. We been had it. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't the issue. That was never the issue. Let's go.
Marathon is rewarding fans
for the Texas case. The issue was it was dismissed in the interest of justice. So we were challenging WACK100 to bring the sentencing transcripts so we could hear exactly what the prosecutor said to the judge was the reason they were dismissing his case in the interest of justice. That's the paperwork from Texas that's missing. You know what I'm saying? Let's get to this content, man. This is going to be real good. It's a deep dive. So if you only here for the short time, you're going to miss all of the good part. But hit that like button from the get-go, though. Show your heart.
Said that the person signed the ticket and you're free to go. You need a new reasonable suspicion that a crime was committed. That reasonable suspicion is only like a 10% chance.
So he's talking about that because they signed the ticket, that it would be only a 10% chance that they would lose that case because of illegal search and seizure, right? So he basically trying to misrepresent the facts. First of all, he's 100% correct under today's law. 2015 Texas law change. You know what I'm saying? And we'll get to that afterwards, but I just wanted to make sure y'all know after if Wack would have caught that game 2015 and after, he would have got illegal search and seizure for that what you call it. But his illegal search and seizure motion to suppress was denied because under the old law, the judge found there was enough suspicion. So we'll get into that after, but let's listen to these lies.
The cop only had to get it right, a 10% chance to get it right, and that dumb cop still got it wrong. That was the issue. He could have said anything to reasonable suspicion that the crime was committed after he already said that the perpetrator was free to go. That was the difference.
Where does it say that
He
in the
needed to
paperwork?
articulate that a crime was being committed and that he had reasonable.
Where does it say that at in the paperwork? Because I got all of the paperwork. It don't say none of that in the paperwork. This is this weirdo from out of state who don't know nothing about our politics. He ain't gang. Nigga, if you ain't gang, why we even listening to this weirdo? This the type of people that CS2 back put on their professional dick pullers. Nigga, let's go.
Suspicion that the driver and or the passenger committed a crime. Because remember, per the details, he didn't ask to search the vehicle
You don't know.
until after he already gave the signed ticket back to the defendant. And at that point, the detention rules apply. You are no longer detained. You are free to go. Okay, let's put the scenario on its head. What would have been reasonable suspicion at that point to search the vehicle? If he gave the fucking ticket back to the defendant and then he smelled marijuana or he saw marijuana.
If he smelled it or saw it, how are you relitigating this in the first place? You are not a judge, first and foremost, and then you weren't the judge in 2005 all the way to 2010, 11, when the case was dismissed in the interest of justice. So why are you even relitigating the fact that this motion to suppress was dismissed? You're supposed to be on here trying to clear WACK100 name. What are you bringing to the table that clears WACK's name? Let's go, man.
That he didn't notice before. Reasonable suspicion now that a crime did occur. Get out the car. I'm going to search X, Y, and Z. But how does he fuck up? He gives the ticket, the ID back to the defendant, and then asks him, hey, can I search your vehicle? Defendant says no. He searches anyway. You never articulated what was your suspicion to search my vehicle. I'm not on the fourth waiver. You can't just search my vehicle.
He didn't just search his vehicle. He articulated. He said, do you have something in your car? He said, no. Signed the ticket and try to run off before he even finished talking to him. But we'll get to all of that. But in any event, as long as he articulated it to the court, the judge at that time was in his rights to dismiss the motion to suppress. So what are you getting at?
What? A reasonable suspicion that something was in the vehicle or probable cause that a crime occurred. You had neither. And you searched it anyway. And then you called the K9. This is simple, y'all. You called the K9 and it wasn't even a drug search. You didn't smell marijuana yet. And then when the canine came, you said it fake alerted to the rear passenger door, which a lawyer would have said rear passenger. We wouldn't know what the
A lawyer
probation
would have
rules.
said, what
I don't
did
give
the lawyer say? See, all of these is hypotheticals from a nigga who a lay litigator. He's a layman. He's not trained under the law. This is weird, bro.
Fuck what's in the rear passenger. We're gonna get off on that too. 1 arm's distance. How long is WACK arms? Can you reach in the rear passenger? No. Can you? We get the fuck out of that too. The drug door comes, and you only find some residue, less than 0.01 of a gram. Get the fuck out of here. What we doing? I'm thinking you found some weed, you found the half smoked blunt, you found some smoke shit. You found some residue, like some little fingernail speck of some residue. And you think that was enough probable cause for
residue, smesidue. Nigga, anything which reeks of marijuana, which was not legal in Texas in 2005, but that's not even the term of what they found. See, he's leaving out what they really found, but we'll get to it.
To fucking search his vehicle and call the canine? Are we dumb?
Bang that like button.
Are we dumb? You think that's enough? I don't give a fuck if you found the fucking 15, 30 guns in the fucking trunk after that. You should have never even got to even talking to the nigga after you gave him back his ID.
I see this queen in the car. Let's see if she like a king. Hello, excuse me. How you doing?
Woulda, coulda. He did, and he got away.
How important is it for a man to
smell? The court found it was a legal search. What are you talking about?
Can we get a cop on here to tell him that?
Get a cop on here to tell him that.
Because you ain't smell shit.
How you know what he smelled?
What's the... Johnny has 2 motherfucking apples, Trooper Garrett. He has 2 motherfucking apples. Where's the crime?
Where's the crime?
Unlawful search.
Unlawful search and seizure. Unlawful detention.
Unlawful search and seizure. Unlawful detention. This is what the 100 EBT Oscar Mayer Mafia are yelling in defense of their cult leader, CS2 back. This ain't what the paperwork say. See, the title was so misleading that he exposes WACK100's paperwork. He's giving his opinion, a legal opinion about a case when he's not even a legal beagle. He's not even a jailhouse lawyer. But he's over here clapping, cheerleading, pom-poms on about illegal search, illegal detention. Where does it say that at?
Full arrest. Right off the gristle. I already know how the fuck this case took 2 fucking years.
It didn't take 2 years. It didn't take 2 years, you illiterate piece of shit. It took 6 years before it was dismissed in the interest of justice. In 2005, he got the case. It was dismissed in 2011. About a month after the Main Street Crips were indicted. So now you know this weirdo don't even know what the fuck he talking about.
Right off the like button. It's not even in dispute. Let's get into the paperwork, y'all.
Yeah, that's probable cause. Bless, salute.
And the fact that you even gave him a warning ticket. Okay, we're not dumb. If I'm giving you a warning ticket, do I think you committed a crime? No. How does that work?
Right.
How does that work? You see how stupid this shit sound when you're reading it? You gave the nigga a warning ticket and said he was free to go, and then you want to pretend like he committed a crime for you enough to
Look,
search
no
his
cap,
vehicle?
no cap said whack more.
Are you
I don't
dumb,
even know
Officer
this
Chase?
weirdo, bro.
If you gonna set the nigga up, at least set the nigga up.
Drew V, salute.
He thought he had her. Thought he had her. You were wrong, Officer Chase. Sorry, Trooper Chase.
So Trooper Chase was
Lying
wrong.
on the stand ass
This
nigga.
weirdo. Lying on the
Fake
stand
probable
ass
cause
nigga.
ass nigga.
So where in the paperwork does it say that Trooper Darren Chase lied or didn't have probable cause? Where did the court rule on that at? You dumbass weirdo. Let's go. Let's shake this shit in about another
Once
10
he
minutes,
refuses consent, so once again, that's not police protocol. It doesn't work that way.
Oh, you know police
The
protocol.
police can ask you all fucking day. Can I search your vehicle for any reason they want? Can I search your vehicle? If you give them consent, you give them consent. That's on you. You give them consent. They ask you.
This shit is dumb, bro. I can't believe that this nigga went on for an hour.
But when the defendant asked him, he said no. You can't search my vehicle. So there
Hit
goes
that
that
like button.
loophole.
Hype
He
me
said
up.
no.
Hype me up. Hype me up.
And this doesn't match. If the canine comes to the vehicle and alerts, right? Then you pull that vehicle, you search that vehicle, you conduct your search, and you only find 0.00100th of a residue. Don't fucking tell me that dog alerted. Because we train those dogs. They don't alert to no 0.00.
Man, dogs will alert to fucking just weed smoke. It sits in the seats. Nigga, you act like you ain't never pulled up and somebody like, damn, your car smell like weed. You like, damn, I ain't smoked for a couple hours. But it still got the scent of weed. Your clothes still got the scent of weed. This nigga's a dick sucking, dick pulling, coward, son of a mother.
Residue, or they'll be alerting all day, every fucking day, to everybody.
Weirdo.
Are you dumb?
Yeah, a whole bunch of me pulling. Let
So
me
once
open up
again,
Clubhouse
hey,
right now.
Because we train dogs, guess what I'm gonna do? Affidavit. Can you come testify as an SME on how dog sniffing dogs actually work and their thresholds?
Okay. So where's the paperwork? Where's the paperwork that WACK100 had an SME come testify to how the dogs work? Where's the paperwork? This nigga over here freestyling and the nigga rhymes ain't even rhyming. Let's go.
Because this is Texas. How long was that dog out? How long was that dog in the vehicle? What was the weather like? Was it hot outside? All of those things is gonna throw off that dog's fucking detection. If you know, you know. It's very hard for these dogs to sniff out a bomb detection material in an open airspace. Very hard.
Oh my God.
Very hard.
Oh.
You know how many smells those dogs have to compete in an open air space? It really only works in a closed air space. Hence why the Boston bombing happened, or the marathon happened. They have bomb dogs all day. They're just for show if they're outside. But that's just minor for another day. Back to the paperwork. Either you train him or you don't train him, JL. So once again, bullshit again. That dog did not alert to the rear passenger door, and where was the residue found? Another loophole. Upon searching the vehicle, no contraband was found anywhere in the passenger compartment. In the search of the entire vehicle,
that's a lie.
The officers found a cigarette rolling apparatus.
A cigarette rolling apparatus. They said they found the weed and a cigarette rolling apparatus. That's a weed rolling apparatus. Is you saying that Cash smokes bugler, nigga? Nigga, that's where they found the little weed shit at on the weed apparatus. Let's go, man. But he said he didn't find none. Let's go.
And an unusable amount of marijuana residue. So they found a cigarette rolling apparatus.
And
it probably had a little bit of residue on it. That's all they found. Just for
that's all they found. He tried to minimize everything for his daddy.
Just for context, right?
3 finger back.
And that residue contained 0.01 hundredths of an ounce of marijuana. And that was located in a white plastic bag inside of a black trash bag wrapped in clothes in the trunk. So I'm going to ask you guys a simple question. If you call the K9 and the K9 alerts to the rear passenger door, so you search the rear passenger door and you don't find anything, but then you do a subsequent search on the whole vehicle
because we trained
and you find this in the trunk. It's in a black plastic trash bag that's inside of a white plastic bag, and
the dog still hit the right back passenger side. The right back passenger side, which gave them the probable cause, and they go back there and they found weed. So they found the weed apparatus and tobacco roller in the front of the car. The dog hits the back of the car on the right side. They go in there and they find some more weed, like 1/100th of maybe a dub or something. It wasn't that much. They said about 100th of an ounce of weed, right? So a dime bag or something, right? But enough to get. But it was wrapped in white plastic bag and black plastic bag. Nigga, you think that's gonna hide the scent from a motherfucking dog, bro? This nigga's a weirdo.
You don't tell me that the dog alerted to the trunk? Are we in fucking bizarro world? Trooper chase?
Hey, this shit starting to be funny. This is the old Clubhouse way. Let me open up Clubhouse. The Damu Kiwe room will be open in a couple minutes.
I just can't. I can't. Hey, the shit that Drewby, the shit that they think they can get away with? You just said that the fucking K9 alerted to the rear passenger door. So if it can smell the weed through the trunk, through both plastic trash bags, then why would it not alert on the fucking trunk? I'm done. I'm fucking done. I'm done. This is why I can't be a cop. This is why I can't be a cop. You niggas are stupid. How do you write this up? Yo, Ping, Wack. Yo, I'm gonna talk to his lawyer. How the fuck did it take 2 years?
2 years. Now you know you didn't read the paperwork, Selena.
Too loud? I got you. Oh, my bad, lawyer. You mean that nigga? My bad. Motion to suppress. Of course, you got a motion to suppress. Why would we not? He's a paid lawyer. Because he read it and saw what? The fucking bullshit. Motion to suppress. Get that evidence the fuck out of here. We don't give a fuck what the fuck you found on the trunk. We don't give a fuck what the fuck you found in the vehicle. Illegal search and seizure. Violation of the Fourth Amendment. We don't give a fuck. I gave you 3 violations without even being a lawyer that his rights is violated. The lawyer could argue any one, but let's read, y'all. Pick up a shit in the fucking room. Since they don't want to run the paperwork because they can't read, apparently. They can't read like us. That's why we what you did?
No.
Sample sorry, I'm looking at.
What?
No, I was trying to see.
Man, I don't care. He's bye.
The court should suppress all evidence of the contents of Mr. Jones's vehicle because the actions of the Tejas Department of Public Safety were in violation of the 4th, the 5th, the 6th, and the 14th Amendment to the United States Constitution.
You making this easy.
The evidence was obtained by an illegal seizure. It must be suppressed as tainted fruit of the poisonous tree. It doesn't fucking matter what you found after the illegal search.
Listen to
We
this,
just gotta prove that you did something
Alex.
illegally and you never had PC and reasonable suspicion to search it at all. That's all they gotta prove. In that case, go bye-bye.
Yeah. Did they prove it? Yeah, he got his own law.
The Fourth Amendment prohibits unreasonable searches and seizures.
We gonna take these.
Okay.
Let's listen
The
to
protections afforded by the Fourth Amendment apply to investigative vehicle stops. United States versus Sharp, that's the cited case. Since the stopping of a vehicle and the detention of its occupants is a seizure within the meaning of the Fourth Amendment. The validity of the traffic stops is analyzed, which held that limited searches and seizures are not unreasonable when there is a reasonable and articulable suspicion that a person has committed a crime. So it's not an unreasonable search and seizure if there is reasonable suspicion that that person has committed a crime. So simple. In the paperwork, Wack can't argue for his Fourth Amendment rights that it was unreasonable if the cops then argue that they had reasonable suspicion that he committed a crime. So once again, you have both parties. What crime did he commit at that point? What was the crime? I take the silence for everyone agrees. There was no crime. Unreasonable search and seizure. Simple. Let's keep reading. To determine whether there is reasonable suspicion. So here we go. They're going to define how you determine reasonable suspicion. Good job. To determine reasonable suspicion, the Fifth Circuit uses a two-part test. So a two-part test. Whether the officer's actions was justified at its inception and whether the officer's subsequent actions were reasonably related in scope to the circumstances that justified the stop. When the purposes of the stop are resolved and the officer's initial suspicions have been verified or dispelled, the detention must end unless there is additional reasonable suspicion supported by articulable facts. Simple. Once he gave the ticket back, the detention ended. You just have to articulate that you have reasonable suspicion that a crime is occurring or occurred or anything. That's it. Just articulate it. What was it? He doesn't have one.
They said the Black Dick Sucking Marathon is the longest porn in porn history. It's nasty work, bro. This dude right here, hey, Big Chuck, he coming for your position. The Golden Knee Pad Awards.
Because the purpose of the stop was completed, at the time Mr. Jones signed the warning ticket,
Long testosterone.
and there were no articulable facts of suspicion, criminal activity, the detention of Mr. Jones in this case exceeded the permissible scope of the initial traffic stop. I think we all agree there. And thus violated the Fourth Amendment. Accordingly, the evidence that flowed from the unlawful detention must be suppressed as tainted fruit. All right, I'm gonna stop right there real quick before we go any further, y'all. That's the argument, right?
Yeah, that's the lawyer's argument.
Is
WACK100's
there
lawyer's argument.
any reasonable suspicion that Mr. Jones was conducting criminal activity or did a crime during the period that you gave him his ticket and his ID back and said he was free to go?
He don't.
You got about what,
Jerry,
5 seconds in between?
They ain't gonna get to that point.
Did you see a gun? Did you smell marijuana? Did he reach for something? Did you see the passengers whispering back and forth? Anything? Nothing? Y'all come off the mic and let me know. No room for the motherfucking week.
Nothing.
The lovely Leo, salute. Pure Glazer. Him and Cheeseburger Chuck fighting over who get the Frank and who get the bean. He definitely has my vote. Hey, he up against it, man. The facts.
Anybody for the cops?
Inside.
Anybody want to take that argument? We can just have a conversation. They fucked up a couple of times. Come on.
I do, but I think I'm gonna bet.
Who that? You was in the Matrix. Sorry. Come back and talk to us. Anybody want to argue for the reasonable suspicion? Anybody want to argue that the traffic stop was good? Anybody? So once again, anybody? I hear somebody?
Oh, I was just gonna say I'll never argue for reasonable suspicion in a situation like that, because sometimes reasonable suspicion can just be what you look like ice, stuff like that.
So, sorry to cut you off, but that's the point. We just define by law what it is, right?
Whenever I think about it, though, I guess I have flashbacks to class.
No, I'm with you, and that's why.
Oh, she's
why
a
they
fake lawyer.
They real on us.
Oh, they got a fake lawyer over there.
Because
Hey,
literally,
the Wax one when they pulled them over.
Mhm.
Oh, we're always running it always at the last
What's
few minutes of the
happening
show.
with Tree in the building? Y'all go ahead and make sure y'all subscribe to
What did you say?
La Van Reed. The Short Bus Podcast. They was on Clubhouse with it, man. They released this today. Let's get some mics up, man. Oh, they on bullshit. Hold on. Let me go ahead and get this on.
Oh,
Y'all,
price.
y'all tripping. Y'all want to stop the content? How we got
What he said?
70,
My tripping.
75 here.
I couldn't hear him.
Let's get back to it.
And maybe he'll come back. Give me a second.
Oh, I just turned it off. Y'all might not even want to come up in here, Layla or AJ.
So,
'cause
Chef,
I just
right?
put the headphones on.
You got two things. So reasonable suspicion. I'm gonna look it up.
We live on YouTube,
So the officer,
Twitch,
it's a two-part test, right?
Instagram.
Whether
Two-part
the
test.
officer's action was justified at its inception, which means when it started,
You might as well go to YouTube
and
marked
whether the
out.
officer's subsequent actions,
Because I'm
which is
live on
actions
YouTube,
after
you
it
can't
started.
even
So
hear
both,
Mika.
right? His
What up?
actions went initially, and his actions after, right? Subsequent and initial were reasonably related to
All right.
scope to the circumstances that justified the stop. When the purposes of the stop are resolved and the officer's initial suspicions have been verified or dispelled, so he had a reasonable suspicion that a crime occurred, which is the 7 over, right? So once he gives that warning ticket and he says you're free to
Lou
go,
from the
you're
Lou.
no longer detained just by law, right? That initial reasonable suspicion is gone, right? He was speeding, you gave him the ticket, he gone. So you have to.
7 over is crazy.
I know, right?
What kind of car was he driving?
Oh my God. This is supposed to be a fake lawyer. I don't know what's going on, bro. The 100 EBT Glazer.
Hey, rented.
Damn rare
Because you know I'm
form,
only
man.
thinking of Jay-Z. I was doing 55 and a 54. So, like what?
You got me actually going to look, man. You want to I'm actually going to look.
Thank you.
You're doing 55 and a 54. You're a lawyer, some of you are. I ain't pressing ball, but I know a little bit enough. You ain't gonna legally search my shit.
You carrying a weapon on you. I know a lot of you are.
Man.
But that's okay. To Chef's point, I want to reiterate that. I only know this because this is what we learned in school. Out on the fucking street, they don't treat it this fucking way. There ain't no one arms distance. There ain't no glove box. There ain't no trunk. There ain't none of that. But in school, this is how they teach it to you.
I put Terry v. Ohio in the chat. For me, whenever that word that phrase reasonable suspicion comes up, it's always all roads lead back to Terry v. Ohio, the landmark case.
Right. Yep.
So that's why I put Google it, like for the Google or the stage, whoever wants to Google it. I feel like that's where it kind of all started.
And you are correct in that sense that, let's say, outside of a vehicle, outside of a traffic stop, all a cop needs to do is have reasonable suspicion that's committed a crime. That standard is just a 10% chance that he's correct. And then he can stop you, detain you, all of that stuff.
Hey, this is where the meat eating put Wack deeper in the hole. So he's saying that the threshold that must be met legally for the search to be legal is only a reasonable suspicion. And he only has to have a 10% showing of reasonable suspicion. But you're going to understand how the prosecution and Darren Chase showed a 7-point standard of review to point out how it was a reasonable search. Let's go.
Look like?
I mean, a reasonable suspicion.
10%, he's good. That's the burden of reasonable suspicion. That's the earliest burden of proof that law enforcement has. That's the beginning to stop you for something. They have to have a suspicion that's committed a crime. You see what I'm saying? That's it. That's the first. That's it.
That's crazy though.
And
Like reasonable suspicion could be a window
Tell her
shopper
the
with
rest
his
searching
hands in
for
his
a password
pockets.
to tell.
anything.
Damn.
Because remember, I'm only going to put that number on it because the burning of proof in terms of court, right? Grand jury, different, more often than not.
Yo, salute.
Right, more likely than not, 50%. Reasonable doubt, 95%. Right, so we putting it in the early stages is 10%. They don't have to get it right. They can stop anybody as long as, quote unquote, they can articulate that they had a reasonable suspicion that they committed a crime. That could be the report that they got in that said it was a tall African-American male, and they stopped every tall African-American male in the last couple of ratings of the crime.
Son can
they
do
can
better
do that
defending me.
and not get it right.
Secret agent man,
They
that
say,
whack
what's your name?
boy.
Where were you coming from? What's your name? You fit the description. That's reasonable suspicion. They are allowed to do that. What they can't do is fake it, though, Chef.
Oh yeah, this nasty work, bro.
I see what you
Nasty
mean.
work.
So what kind of car was it? Was it a Lambo?
What does it matter? Was it a Lambo?
It wasn't going to do the Lambo shit.
Oh
Allegedly.
my God.
7 over is crazy. It makes me feel like
bro, she said, was it a Lambo? So she believed Wack really got that bag. Oh, she must be new on the 100 EBT side. Straight glazing.
we have a city in the Bay called Alameda, and they've always been notorious for traffic stops because of their strict speed limit enhancement laws. So I remember like sometimes.
Oh yeah, she's the
guys will be
airhead.
sitting there, not the guys, the police. They'll have the little radar gun, like zapping people as they pass by.
What the fuck do that got to do with this case?
The traffic rules are the
She's
rules.
a dingy bitch.
It's 15, you better be doing 15. It's really nerve-wracking.
What a dingy bitch, man.
All right, let me do this last couple of things on Salute, Chef. You good on the suspicion part? Go ahead, sucker.
I was saying, is this the truck part or the car part where he got pulled over?
Car part.
Oh, okay.
It says, once an investigating officer's initial inquiries have been satisfied with respect to a traffic stop, a warrantless detention should end and the occupants of the vehicle should be free to leave, which is true. When dealing with a traffic stop, the issuance of a traffic warning concludes the purpose of the original stop. Simple. So the lawyer is making a simple argument, Chef. You just have to articulate, once again, your second reasonable suspicion that a crime is. During oral examination, Trooper Chase admitted that the purpose of the stop was concluded at the time Mr. Jones signed for the warning ticket. So we're good there. He admitted that. It was over, right? Detention over. He's free to go.
Well, that's a fair pin.
Only after Trooper Chase issued the traffic warning and Mr. Jones signed, did he ask if he can search the vehicle. So once again, you do not have reasonable suspicion that a crime occurred if you ask me, can I search the vehicle? And I say no. You know why? Because I have a fucking constitutional protected right against unlawful search and seizure, you fucking idiot. I have every right to say no. It doesn't mean that a crime is occurring because I don't let you search my fucking vehicle.
Right, you do have every right to say no, and he shouldn't even be asking.
Shouldn't even be asking.
At that point.
It shouldn't even be asking. It's too late.
Once again, what the fuck are you doing to think you can actually get away with that shit?
At that point, you planted that. You planted that on him. You
That's
didn't
how
notice it at first.
He planted it.
At that point, bro, that was in your pocket.
But he still has to articulate the fucking crime. He can't do that. He can't do that because
They
remember,
love airheads.
now, if he would have found actual marijuana, what the fuck you think he would have said? Once I gave the warning, remember, the window didn't roll down all the way. So once I gave the warning ticket back
the
to
blunt
Mr.
in the
Jones,
ashtray,
I noticed
probable
that the window
cause,
wasn't
tell
rolling
him
all the way.
marked out.
I smelled a hint of marijuana coming from the vehicle, and so I asked to search the vehicle. He said no, but because the marijuana.
Hey, listen, if your type is just to get laid, you just trying to knock down anything. It's been a while. You in between stops. Make an account. Go to the 100 EBT side. They got a bunch of dingy bitches like her that's just slow as molasses. You got, your chances is going to be expeditiously greater at getting you a shot of some pussy. Go to the 100 EBT side and don't let them know that you know me. You got a good chance.
It was so strong. I had probable cause to search the vehicle. Nigga didn't even do that. Fucking bozo.
Carolina Connect TV. Megan Davis, what up? Oh man, the 100 EBT meat eaters is in rare motherfucking form. Hey, do y'all remember in Purple Rain? Hold on, we finna pause this real quick. Do y'all remember in Purple Rain when Morris Day came in and they was with the club owner? It was Morris Day, Jerome, and he got the bitch Nikki with him. You know what I'm saying? Apollonia. You know what I'm saying? She done came in with this nigga. So the nigga Prince is tripping, right? He waiting. He like dun 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 dun. And that nigga said, man, what's going on? He said, man, we got a packed house. He said, the kids in rare form tonight. The nigga said, okay. The lights went dim. That nigga came in with Darling Nikki. Dun, 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 dun. Listen, bro. These EBT niggas is in rare form, nigga. Hey, they the content. I thought the content was about the paperwork, right? I got the paperwork. They lied about the paperwork. They're lying about all this shit. That's not the content. They're all gonna laugh at you. These niggas in rare form, professional meat eating, nigga. This shit is an Olympic sport over there, nigga. Let's go, man.
I think so. Trooper Chase did not have reasonable suspicion of criminal activity sufficient to warrant detaining Mr. Jones after the purpose of the traffic stop was completed. In order to continue detaining an individual past the point where the purpose for the stop is concluded. Now, this is what I learned in school, and I'm glad that it's in this paperwork. I'm going to read it again.
From school.
I need your thinking caps, right?
He's a lawyer?
This is why I say this is exactly how I learned it.
It's in Wack
Prince. If that K9 takes X amount of time, you start that clock and you tell your lawyer that, and you let them fight that case. This is the reason right
here.
They
ran the quality people away.
If you ain't pull me over for drugs initially, I'm going to read it.
Oh, man, that shit's good, man.
In order to continue detaining an individual past the point when the purpose for the stop is concluded, the officer must have reasonable suspicion supported by articulable facts that a crime
That's the standard.
That a crime other.
So that's the standard right there. They have to have articulatable facts of a reasonable suspicion that a crime occurred. Let's go.
That a traffic violation has been or is being
committed. You probably can't hear it. We on YouTube.
So why the fuck are you calling the canine again?
Oh, you didn't know yet? We'll get to that.
Huh.
Oh, he paid him that. It's
So I don't gotta
jumper,
wait for no canine for no speeding
The
ticket.
jig is up. This is where the damn
Start that
settlement
clock.
money went. It says cause number, not case number. Nah, cause number is also
I don't give a fuck about no
a
canine.
legal term.
It's my
You right, though,
constitutional
Sergeant
right.
City.
Why are you detaining me
But that's the
longer
real documents do say
than it
cause
takes for you to
number.
conduct your investigation on your initial stop? That's law.
That's
law.
That's law.
You got all
Canine-
information back too?
Canine 45 minutes out. Good. Because guess what? Your investigation is over. You're not investigating for 45 minutes. You're just sitting here. That's law. Hire a fucking lawyer. That's law.
Hire a fucking lawyer. That's law.
I'm reading it to you.
I'm reading it to you.
I'm a paid man, not a lawyer. I'm reading.
You reading the lawyer's motion, you dumbass nigga. What happened to the lawyer's motion?
It to you. How they wrote it.
Yeah, no, we live right now. You probably ain't gonna be able to hear it because I got on my headphone. So if you want to hear it, you gotta watch it on YouTube.
You wanna do it your way.
Damu Kiwe conversation. Hey, the 100 EBT. Hey, that nigga been recruiting. He got a whole new crew in the last 3 years of dumb motherfuckers.
So can I ask you a question? Or I don't know if it's a question or if I'm just sharing my thoughts.
Right.
Ow, shit. Sorry.
The
I hurt
classic
my
porn
finger.
debutante.
If you don't have anything and you don't have anything going on, don't you see fit in some situations for the sake of saving your life, possibly, depending on where you are? You just like, fuck it, go ahead, search. Even though you know your rights.
No. And here's the reason why.
Okay.
If I give you consent to search, that means anything they find in the vehicle they can put on you, which means they can plant anything in that vehicle. And just because I gave you consent to search, I can no longer say you planted that. I gave you consent.
Well, they planted the smell that wasn't strong.
They didn't plant it at all.
So it really did smell?
No, you never, it's simple. You never give, even if you are dead to rights, you never give nobody consent to search.
Prince's new name is Little Stupid.
It's not about being a criminal. You never give anybody right to search anything that's being private by you without a fucking warrant. You have a right as a citizen to your reasonable right of privacy to everything, unless you commit a crime. So they have to prove first,
y'all gotta hype me up. We finna get
that
up
they have
into
enough
this content.
quote unquote proof to break that privacy law or break that constitutional right and get into your private shit. That extends to your vehicle, that extends to your home, that extends to your phone, that extends to your computer.
I can't take it no more, man. The glazing was oh my God, man. Olympic gold medal glizzy guzzling, nigga. The 100 EBT glizzy guzzlers, nigga. This shit was crazy. Hey, man, I was listening to Act 69 and Wacko interview. 69 asked Wack about Stutterbox. Threw me for a loop, and 69 said that gangster is taking care of your family. Didn't Wack just say that? Oh, wait, hold on. You got to repeat that move. What you doing over here? Get out of here. My dog come up in here on that. But we're going to get to the content. We got some other good shit, but let's get to the content. You know what I'm saying? See, he talking about he brought the paperwork. Bro, nobody had the paperwork and brought the paperwork except me. What's the name read? eBay Films had read the motion, but nobody understood the interest of justice until I got with Debbie. And then I came to the thing. BMW 740 boys, salute. If y'all just coming in, bang that like button, hype me up in the algorithm. Facts. She playing the dummy to catch one. Yeah, she definitely know the nigga dummy, right? So let's blow this up. This was the old chief deputy district clerk who retired now from Wheeler, Texas, 79096. So so he just read the motion to suppress, right? We got all of that, right? Motion to suppress. Okay, we got all of that. Brief in support of the defendant's motion to suppress. This is what he just read. We're not going to reread that. We're going to go ahead and order to suppress, right? No, we're going to go ahead and go to the states, the DA. Y'all see the stamp right there? That means that it's official document. You know what I'm saying? These niggas talking like they was in law school. I learned in school, this nigga. Cheeseburger Chuck, get your right back. Oh, hell no. The kid is in red form. Eminem, I can't do this guy. He was dumb as hell. He was. This nigga, he think he's smart. How do you learn laws in school? Now they planting weed smell. Why Robert Jones' name ain't mentioned in this report? Well, he was mentioned in the report as the brother. Let me see. I'm dead, dude. His dumb ass in HVAC, he ain't no damn lawyer. Come from a different cloth. Salute, Deuce, and salute to the chat, man. Salute to you, brother. They said, Cheeseburger Chuck love these butter biscuits. Eminem doing Debbie that speak about in Texas. So look, let's get into this. Bang that like button. If I'm gonna do this, that's the least y'all can do, man. I ain't asked for no Cash App, even though the Cash App is on the ticker. You know what I'm saying? In fact, you could just screen card the QR code that shit. But in any event, this was stamped July 7, 2010. So July 7, 2010, the DA objected, filed a brief in opposition to WAC's motion to suppress based upon illegal search and seizure. Comes now the state of Texas by and through her assistant district attorney and files this her brief in opposition to defendant's motion to suppress in the above styled and numbered calls. And as grounds, therefore, the state will show the court the following. 1, defendant was indicted January 26, 2006. Now, remember, this weirdo kept talking about, I don't know why it took 2 years. How the fuck you get 2 years from the date he got it, January 26, 2006, the day he got indicted, to June 7, 2010. How the fuck is that 2 years? Your math ain't mathing, nigga. You so hard with your deep throat action, nigga. Nigga esophagus. Nigga, that's nigga getting, nigga blew that nigga tonsils out. Nigga blew that nigga spokes out. Nigga, that nigga was over there sucking so hard. This nigga can't even get his math right. You know what I'm saying? So now it says of unlawful possession of a firearm under Texas Penal Code 4604A1 on August 15, 2006. The defendant filed a motion to suppress any and all tangible evidence seized by law enforcement officers or others in connection with the detention and arrest of Cash McElroy Jones, in this case, or in connection with the investigation of the case, and any testimony by the Texas Department of Public Safety trooper or any other law enforcement officers or others concerning such evidence. Also, the arrest of Cash McFuckboy Jones at the time and place in question, and any and all evidence which relates to the arrest, and any testimony by the Texas Department of Public Safety trooper or any other law enforcement officers or others concerning any action of Cash McFuckboy Jones. Bang that like button while in detention or under arrest in connection with this case. The court heard testimony regarding the defendant's motion on May 19th, 2010. So testimony, Trooper Darren Chase and Deputy Julian Torres testified at the hearing before the judge, right? So before the judge ruled on the thing, he allowed Trooper Darren Chase and Deputy Julian Torres to testify and hear about what led up to the suspicion of the search, right? The state urges the court should deny the defendant's motion to suppress, and in support thereof would show the following statement of facts. On April 16, 2005, Texas Department of Public Safety Trooper Darren Chase was on routine patrol on Interstate 40 in Wheeler County, Texas, when he conducted a traffic stop of a brown 2005 Cadillac passenger car for traveling 77 miles per hour in an area where the posted speed limit was 70 miles per hour as confirmed by his radar. So to the dumb bitch that's playing like she a lawyer over there, or that she studied law, or she's in school for law, all you got to do is read the paperwork, and it would have told you this was no Murcielago. This wasn't a Gallardo. No. This wasn't a Diablo. Had nothing to do with a Lambo, you dick-sucking, dingy, dumb bitch. You know what I'm saying? All you got to do is read the work. You know what I'm saying? I got the work. After the vehicle came to a stop on the improved shoulder of the eastbound lane, Trooper Chase made contact with the vehicle on the passenger side. As he approached, the driver only rolled the window down about 1/4 of the way, right? When the trooper requested that the window he rolled down all the way, when the trooper requested that the window be rolled all the way down, he was informed that was as far down as the window would roll. During the period of time which the trooper was speaking with the driver, and the driver was still in the vehicle, the passenger continued to sleep. So Bobby Jones, Robert Jones, Bob Jones, Robert Jones, CS2 Back's brother, is asleep. He high off that sticky icky. You know what I'm saying? The Up and Smoke tour, nigga, through Texas, nigga. He over here sleeping off that indica. You know what I'm saying? Or some sativa. You know what I'm saying? The trooper advised the driver, later identified as Cash McElroy Jones, that he had been stopped for speeding. The defendant replied that he was a truck driver and always runs about 5 miles per hour over the speed limit. The trooper then requested identification from both the driver and the passenger. The passenger had to be woken up in order to provide identification. The trooper then asked the driver about his trip and was told that they were going to Tulsa, Oklahoma, because his brother got killed and they had to take his mom back to California for the funeral. Mr. McFuckboy, you already fucked up. You know you fucked up, right? You know you fucked up, right? I got to get that. I'm going to add that to my stream deck. You know you fucked up, right? Remember the detective in Minister Society? You know you fucked up, right? So you said that you were on a trip because your brother got killed and you had to take your mom back to California for the funeral. So by you taking that position, and then why is you even telling them about that anyway? You got pistols Your brother just got killed. You trying to go get retaliation. You don't talk to them about nothing except the ticket you get. This nigga nervous, man. This nigga is shaking like a snitch at a gangster party. He further stated that his brother's body would be flown back, but that his mother could not fly because she weighed over 400 pounds. Oh, big bitch. Big bitch. Upon questioning of the passenger, Robert Jones, the trooper, was told that their brother had been killed and that they were going to Tulsa, Oklahoma for the funeral. So now, pardon me, now Robert Jones then gave a conflicting story. So the trooper is already a little suspicious because one saying that the funeral is going to be back in California. They just going to go get the mother, the 400-pound mother. And then the other one, they asked him and he said, no, my brother got killed and we going to Tulsa, Oklahoma for the funeral. So one is saying the funeral going to be in California. The other one is saying the funeral is going to be in Tulsa, Oklahoma. These are conflicting stories, which is enough to build up suspicion to anyone. Hold on, why'd you tell me this? Something just ain't adding up. You know what I'm saying? Trooper Chase observed that during the time he was running the routine driver's license check, that Cash Jones, the driver of the vehicle, could not stay still. Oh, he's apprehensive. Oh, he's nervous, y'all. Got one. The trooper observed that he was pacing back and forth, bending over, like Mika had him bent over with them 3 fingers. He's bent over, nigga. This nigga trying to catch his breath. This nigga, oh my God, we got this chopper in the car, a shotgun, a pistol, 800 rounds of ammunition. This nigga nervous. And he's looking back at the vehicle. He's thinking about making a run for it, indicating to the trooper that the driver was nervous. Also, during this period of time, the trooper observed that the car was rented from April 16, 2005 until April 18, 2005, and that they were traveling from Palmdale, California to Tulsa, Oklahoma. So now he knows that they just rented the car, right? He knows that they flying everywhere and they rented it from California. California is one of the most notorious drug trafficking states. We're close to the border. We got the home of the gang members there. You know what I'm saying? Hey, can you give me some water? A bottle? We got the home of the gangbangers there, Crips, Bloods, FAs, Norths, Bay Areas. You got niggas that was getting to that bag around this time. You dig? And we got Stan G down in the chat. Let me see what Stan G talking about. We're gonna get back to this right now. Hold on. Stan G, what's up, man? Well, we ain't gonna talk about other niggas. We gonna talk about specific niggas. Who's the soft nigga, Stan G? Who really trying to knock the motion, man. Especially the WACK dudes. You know about the WACK dude, the WACK dudes in the past. Wait, he hating on your motion and no jumper? Man, you already know they think that dude trying to stop the motion, but at the same time, I was on like lotion. Oh yeah, man. I mean, speaking of lotion, the way you was up there glazing that Mountaineer, I'm quite sure he ain't gonna be able to stop that. You know that nigga Adams into that type of shit. Did you ever show him that picture? I don't even know you, but at the same time, you heard about Stan G. So, oh my niggas out right Hey, Stan G, if you can't take the heat, get the fuck up out the kitchen. You know what I'm saying? So let's get back to the content. So after completing, let me turn this down just a little bit. So after completing the warning, the trooper went back to explain it to the defendant. The trooper observed that while he was explaining the warning to the defendant, he grabbed the clipboard quickly and signed his name very quickly. After the defendant had signed the warning, the trooper asked him if he had anything illegal in the vehicle, and the defendant turned away and stated no in a low tone of voice. Now, mind you, the suspicion predated that. It was a whole bunch of different things. The window not coming down, the passenger sleeping, right? Wack acting nervous, right? How fast he signed the clipboard. These are all things that's leading him to say, you know what I'm saying, even before he signed it quickly, like, man, now this nigga acted paranoid, right? He's scared, right? So he said, is there anything illegal in the vehicle? And Wack turned away and stated, no, in a low tone of voice. It was at this point Trooper Chase asked the defendant for permission to search the vehicle, and the defendant became combative at the request. Ultimately, the defendant denied the trooper permission to search the vehicle. A canine was requested, and Deputy Julian Torres arrived with the canine 22 minutes later. The canine alerted on the vehicle, and a probable cause search of the vehicle was performed. During the course of the search, troopers located a black rifle, a black shotgun, a loaded black pistol, along with several clips and large amounts of ammunition for each gun. Both the driver and the passenger were arrested for unlawful possession of a firearm by a felon. A further search of the vehicle revealed a cigarette rolling apparatus which contained the strong odor of marijuana. Arguments and authorities. And then basically, they go into the court should deny the defendant's motion to suppress, while evidence obtained by an illegal seizure must be suppressed as tainted fruit. The seizure in this case was not illegal. The defendant correctly argues that any evidence obtained by an illegal seizure must be suppressed as tainted fruit. In the present case, however, neither the detention or the search were illegal, and therefore the court is not required to suppress the evidence which was the result of the search. To justify an investigative detention, an officer must have reasonable suspicion based on specific articulable facts that, in light of the officer's experience and general knowledge, lead the officer to a reasonable conclusion that criminal activity is underway and that the detained person is connected with the criminal activity. Because they cite Perez versus State, because there were specific articulable facts, for Trooper Chase to conclude that illegal activity was taking place, he had reasonable suspicion to detain the defendant beyond the purpose of the traffic stop. Therefore, the evidence seized as a result of the search need not be suppressed as tainted fruit. B, Trooper Chase had reasonable suspicion to detain the defendant. The defendant argues that the purpose of the traffic stop was concluded when Trooper Chase issued the warning ticket to the defendant. This issue, however, is not whether or not the purpose of the traffic stop had been concluded, but whether the trooper has specific articulable facts which would lead to a reasonable suspicion that criminal activity was taking place beyond the traffic violation. So this is the standard. And this is what they're keeping it to, not the shit that weirdo, I forgot his name, Prince. The weirdo Prince was talking about. Reasonable suspicion existed in this case. The defendant correctly states the factors Trooper Chase articulated as support for his reasonable suspicion. These include, 1, The fact that the passenger window would not roll down completely and the vehicle was new. That was suspicious to the officer. 2, the fact that the vehicle had a lived-in look and that the passenger did not wake up during the course of the traffic stop. Just so y'all know, people always talk about they don't make typos in real paperwork, but they didn't even put did not wake up. They put did no wake up. So y'all dudes be talking and y'all don't even know everybody human, and especially when you're doing long shit like this, sometimes you get a typo or autocorrect and you don't catch it on your what you call it because you glancing over. But anyway, did not wake up during the course of the traffic stop. That was suspicious. 3, conflicting stories from the passengers regarding the funeral. 4, the short time of the rental of the vehicle for such a long trip. 5, the level of nervousness of the defendant during a traffic stop. 6, the defendant quickly grabbed the clipboard in order to sign the warning. And 7, the low tone of voice used by the defendant when answering the question as to whether or not he would allow the trooper to search his vehicle. Paraphrase from Trooper Chase's testimony at the suppression hearing. When looking at the totality of the circumstances, these factors clearly establish reasonable suspicion of criminal activity. After making a stop for a traffic violation, an officer may rely on all facts ascertained during the course of his contact with a defendant to develop articulable facts that would justify a continued detention. And he cites Sims versus State. The court must review the totality of the circumstances in determining whether the officer had a particular and objective basis for having suspected wrongdoing. ID. In the present case, the defendant would like this court to look individually at each factor and determine that because each factor has an innocent explanation, that no reasonable suspicion existed to detain the defendant. However, the Court of Criminal Appeals has recognized that there may be instances when a person's conduct viewed in a vacuum appears purely innocent. Yet when viewed in light of the totality of the circumstances, those actions give rise to a reasonable suspicion. Woods versus State. When looking at the factors in light of the totality of the circumstances as required by law, reasonable suspicion existed. Looking at the first factor cited by Trooper Chase, he stated that it was suspicious that the window would not roll completely down, despite the fact that this was a brand new vehicle. The defendant argues that because this was a rental car, in no way was he or could he be held responsible for the maintenance or upkeep. So Wack got an answer for everything, right? Oh, it was a new rental car. How am I supposed to be responsible for the maintenance? Trooper Chase testified that it was significant to him that the window did not roll down because oftentimes people who are transporting narcotics on the interstate will alter a vehicle in order to transport those narcotics. He further testified that, based on his experience, he felt that the window not rolling down indicated to him that narcotics were possibly being transported in the door of the vehicle. Further, despite the defendant's assertion to the contrary, courts have recognized that a malfunctioning window can be indicative of criminal behavior. See Bustamante. This factor, viewed in totality with the other articulated factors, establishes reasonable suspicion to detain the defendant. The second factor, cited by Trooper Chase, is that the passenger of the vehicle slept during the traffic stop, and this created a lived-in look within the vehicle. The defendant would have the court believe that because there was a logical explanation behind the passenger sleeping, that would negate the trooper's ability to use this in finding reasonable suspicion to prolong the stop. There is nothing contained within the record to indicate that they were telling the truth about the purpose of their trip. Further, given the circumstances, the trooper should not be required to assume at the time of the stop the individuals are telling the truth, especially true given their conflicting stories. Trooper Chase testified at the hearing that this was indicative of criminal behavior because people who transport narcotics like to get where they are going as fast as possible, and that oftentimes people will sleep in a vehicle while the other person drives. This factor, viewed in totality with the other articulated factors, establishes reasonable suspicion to detain the defendant. The third factor, to which Trooper Chase testified, was the conflicting stories told by the defendant with regards to the purpose of their trip. The defendant told the trooper that they were going to Tulsa to pick up his mother and take her back to California for the funeral because she was too large to fly and that their deceased brother's body would be flown back to California. The passenger told the trooper that they were going to Tulsa for the funeral. There is a significant difference in going to pick someone up for a funeral in California and then going to Tulsa for the funeral. Therefore, the stories given by two individuals were in conflict. The defendant claims that the trooper contradicted this assertion by stating to another officer that the defendant and his brother both told me the same story. However, this statement is taken out of context by the defendant. Just a couple minutes before the statement picked out by the defendant, the trooper states, they gave me a little difference in the story with the deal on their mother. And then he got it on the recording. See, they had the recording of this whole thing. 9:07 in the morning and 53:12 on the recording. They say they destroyed it. I think the feds destroyed it. When he made the statement about both told me the same story, he made no mention that he was referencing their destination or their purpose as the defendant claimed. He was clearly speaking about the fact that their brother had been killed, which was consistent between both individuals. What was inconsistent is whether or not the funeral would be held in California or in Tulsa. This factor, viewed in totality with the other articulated factors, establishes reasonable suspicion to detain the defendant. Fourth, Trooper Chase states that he thought the rental car was leased for too short a time for such a long trip. It is important to note that the defendant makes the erroneous assumption that the trooper knew at the time of the traffic stop that the defendant was telling the truth regarding the purpose of their trip, if in fact he was. Given the inconsistent stories, the trooper was free to disbelieve either individual's versions of events. In hindsight, it's easy for the defendant to state that it is perfectly reasonable to make a 20.5-hour one-way trip, pick up their mother, and make the return trip to California for the funeral within 31 hours to spare had they done a nonstop trip. In reality, the trooper had reason to suspect that the story was fabricated and was in no way obligated to believe in its truth. In fact, there is nothing in the record to indicate they were telling the truth. Given the circumstances, it was reasonable for the trooper to believe that they had rented the car for too short of a time for an extremely long trip. Trooper Chase testified that his mistake on the rental date of the contract would not change his opinion regarding the trip's length and the time period for which the car is rented. This factor, viewed in totality with the other articulated factors, establishes reasonable suspicion to detain the defendant. Fifth, Trooper Chase states that the defendant was nervous because of his inability to stand still, his looking at the vehicle, and his fidgeting. The movements indicated by the trooper during his testimony are clearly visible on the tape. The trooper obviously perceived those movements and nervousness, which is a reasonable deduction from his actions. The defendant provides his court with case law indicating that nervousness alone is not enough to provide reasonable suspicion. However, that argument is irrelevant given the large number of other factors articulated by the trooper. Clearly, he was not relying on nervousness alone as the basis for his suspicions. Again, in justifying the suspicious behavior, the defendant gives a reason: the fact his brother has just been killed and he has been traveling a long distance. The trooper had no way of knowing at the time whether or not there was any truth to that story, and given the inconsistencies between the driver and the passenger, it was reasonable for him to disbelieve the story and perceive the nervousness as an indication of criminal activity. This factor, viewed in the totality with the other articulated factors, establishes reasonable suspicion to detain the defendant. Next, the trooper states that it was suspicious that the defendant grabbed the clipboard in such a hurry when he was asked to sign the warning ticket. The defendant claims this is not supported by the video evidence, but he is incorrect in his contention. The video clearly shows that the defendant grabs the clipboard from the trooper before the trooper finishes speaking. This is consistent with the trooper's claims that the defendant was in a hurry. This factor, viewed in totality with the other articulated factors, establishes reasonable suspicion to detain the defendant. Last, Trooper Chase states that when he asked the defendant if there was anything illegal in the vehicle, he stated no in a low tone of voice. The defendant claims that speaking in a low tone of voice does not equate to criminal activity. However, that argument misconstrues the trooper's testimony at the hearing. The trooper testified that the low tone of voice the defendant used when answering that question was in contrast to the normal tone of voice the trooper had observed during the rest of the traffic stop. The trooper testified that the significant indicator was the variation in tone of the defendant's voice when answering questions about anything illegal being in the vehicle. They forgot the T in the vehicle. So stop telling people that lawyers don't make, and legal work don't make mistakes, bro. Y'all be just jumping out there talking about shit y'all don't know, bro. This factor, viewed in totality with the other articulated factors, establishes reasonable suspicion to detain the defendant. So now here's the legal argument. Because Trooper Chase had reasonable suspicion to detain the defendant, he had a legal right to search the vehicle. The reasonableness of the temporary detention must be examined in terms of the totality of the circumstances and will be justified when the detaining officer has specific articulable facts, which, taken together with the rational emphasis from those facts, leads him to conclude that the person detained actually is, has been, or soon will be engaged in criminal activity. Courts in Texas have upheld the determination of reasonable suspicion under circumstances similar to the present case. In Bustamante, the factors that the court considered were conflicting stories regarding their trip, nervousness on the part of the appellant, and the fact that the window would not roll all the way down on the door. The court stated that the officer is entitled to rely on all of the information obtained during the course of his contact with the citizen in developing the articulable facts which would justify continued investigatory detention. In evaluating the facts in that case, the Court of Appeals held the trial court must have found that the officers possessed probable cause sufficient to allow them continued detention. See Bustamante. The case is cited by the defendant for the position that there is no reasonable suspicion in the present case can be sufficiently distinguished. In Dorsch, the court basically stated that all the state presented was the fact that the defendant was driving a rental car, and it wasn't sufficient to show that just because someone is driving a rental car, there is reasonable suspicion to detain them. In Jones, the factors articulated by the officer were inconsistent answers about the driver's employment and a previous drug arrest. Lastly, in Santiago, the only factors articulated by the officers were nervousness and conflicting answers. None of these cases demonstrate facts suggestive of criminal activity anywhere near the level of what was presented in the present case. The present case presents the court with 7 factors which, when viewed in the totality of the circumstances, lead to reasonable suspicion that the defendant was engaged in illegal activity. In each of the cases presented by the defense, there were a mere one or two factors. There are sufficient articulable facts to demonstrate a reasonable suspicion on the part of Trooper Chase that the defendant was engaged in criminal activity. Conclusion, clearly, when looking at the totality of the circumstances, Trooper Chase has sufficient reasonable suspicion to detain the defendant beyond the scope of the original stop. No evidence seized in connection with that case was unlawfully seized and therefore should not be suppressed. So that's Jeremy Woney. We're going to be trying to track him down. And then they got their certificate of service, and that was that. So he read the motion to suppress. He read WACK100's argument to the courts. They had a hearing where the Trooper Darren Chase and Julian Torres testified. And after that, the motion to dismiss. Hold on, that's the wrong one. We ain't doing this one yet. Hold on, let's back up. Let's go. Okay, state's motion. Okay, that's when they actually dismissed it. That's not what we're looking for. That's the indictment. Order to suppress. So here goes the order to suppress. So this dodo's over here banging that like button. This dodo over here is arguing WACK100's lawyers' side of the motherfucking argument on the motion to suppress based upon illegal search and seizure. The court, the judge, the only one that mattered in this case, dropped the order on the motion to suppress, decided after receiving the objection June 28, 2010. Order on defendant's motion to suppress on 19th day of May 2010. Defendant's motion to suppress came on for hearing. Upon consideration of the testimony and exhibits before the court, it is the opinion of the court that defendant WACK100 CS2 back motion to suppress evidence should be denied. It is therefore ordered that defendant's motion to suppress evidence is denied. Signed, June 28th, 2010. So you're over here arguing and cheerleading a motion that was denied. You're arguing a ruling that was that a ruling should have been ruled in a different way. And the crazy shit is, damn, I just closed the damn thing. But it's all right. We finna get into the chat anyway. So the motion was denied. Motion to suppress, denied. You know what I'm saying? Just like Debbie said, I'm just going to keep my mouth shut. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That's what Wack was supposed to do, keep his mouth shut. So then, so that was July 2010. So then in March 2011, we're going to get into this chat in a minute. March 2011, March 8, 2011, the state's motion, meaning the prosecution, to dismiss, having been presented to me on this 8th day of March 2011, and the same having been considered, it is therefore ordered, adjudged, and decreed that said above entitled and numbered cause be the same is hereby dismissed. The cause of to believe a crime occurred and the case was dismissed, and that's the presiding judge's signature on March 8th and March 9th Sherry Jones, the district clerk, Wheeler County, Texas. She is the one filed it for record. She's the one that stamped it the day after the judge had made his ruling, made it official like a gangbanger with a pistol. So you say, well, if he's arguing illegal search and seizure is how his case got dismissed, then how come on the motion to dismiss, it says that the reason it was being dismissed was in the interest of justice. Not that the evidence was insufficient, not that the defendant was sentenced in another case, not because the complaining witness has requested dismissal, not because the case will be refiled, not because the defendant was unapprehended, not because the defendant is deceased, not because the defendant has been granted immunity. It was dismissed. Possession of firearm by a felon for the reason other in the interest of justice. Now, I just want to know, how is he calling out, first and foremost, you's a known rat. You can't call out no Bloods, no Crips that ain't got no smut on their name and demand nothing, nigga. Nothing. Zero. Zilch. You no good. You know what I'm saying? But you want to ask Wacko about bringing his paperwork. Because it's weird that Wacko got a gun case and all of this shit with the gun case, silencer, and with all the other shit you were saying was weird about Wacko case. And the fact that he did 2 days, which we come to find out he didn't, he bailed out and got probation, joint suspension, or something like that. I haven't went over all of the paperwork. But if you find that it was suspicious or something didn't seem right with Wacko's paperwork, which allegedly was just cleared. As I said, I ain't went over it. I just seen some reactions, right? I can't clear nobody. Paperwork clears people. And I haven't read the work. But they put some kind of a whole bunch of paperwork out in the video, and people are saying that cleared Wacko. But Wacko should have never even showed him, bro. I'm not showing no rat my paperwork. I can't politic with a nigga that's all bad. We can't politic, bro. Don't talk gang politics to me. Don't talk hood politics. You've already lifted your skirt up, and we seen you got a panocha. A big, fat, hairy, wet, moist panocha. You know what I'm saying? You a pussy. So, but for you to say that was suspicious, it sounds like you're telling on yourself, because this really makes it look like your case is suspicious. Your case is a whole lot worse. I'm finna read something to y'all before we get to this next video, and we're going to talk about WACK100 and all of these guns, because it's weird that this man talks about and keeps all of these guns and shit, and the police don't got no issue with it, right? So, okay, here we go. So I sent the paperwork to ChatGPT, and this is what we got. Let's go. All right. Factual record, that changes the analysis in an important way, because now we are no longer talking hypothetically. We're talking about why the suppression motion failed under then existing Texas law, and whether that ruling will still survive today or on appeal post-conviction review. I'll break this into 4 parts. What actually doomed the suppression motion? It says that the suppression motion was doomed. Why the DA's arguments worked in 2006 to 2010. It's saying and admitting the paperwork, the DA's argument was the winner. So what the fuck is this nigga Princess talking about? Is this Ray J bitch and drag? How does nigga look, bro? I'm thinking this nigga might be Princess, Ray J's baby mama, bro. Where the ruling is vulnerable legally and realistic chances of success if challenged today, an honest assessment. So why the suppression motion was denied? Plain English, the judge denied suppression for one core reason. The court accepted that Trooper Chase had reasonable suspicion to prolong the stop before the K9 was requested. Once the court found reasonable suspicion, everything else followed. Prolonged detention is lawful. The K9 sniffing dog, lawful. The dog alert, probable cause. The vehicle search, lawful. Firearms and paraphernalia are now admissible in court, and that's where WACK100 is stuck, because the motion to suppress that so he could dismiss the case based on illegal search and seizure was ruled against. So the entire case rises or falls on reasonable suspicion to detain after the warning was issued. Why the DA's argument worked at the time? Critical historical context. This stop occurred in 2005. The suppression hearing occurred in 2010. Rodriguez versus United States in 2015 had not yet been decided. So there's Supreme Court precedents which would have ruled in WACK favor had this happened 2015 or after. But that matters a lot. The DA's winning formula. The state stacked multiple drug courier profile factors and argued totality of the circumstances. The court accepted these 7 factors as articulated. Passenger window would not roll down fully down. Passengers sleeping during stop. Conflicting stories about trip purpose. Short rental for a long trip. Nervousness, pacing, fidgeting. Quick signing of the warning, and low tone of voice when denying illegal items. Texas courts routinely upheld reasonable suspicion findings based on these kind of cumulative reasoning in that era, relying on Bustamante versus the state, Woods versus the state, and Sims versus the state. The judge explicitly accepted the DA's position that viewed individually, factors may appear innocent, but viewed collectively, they justify reasonable suspicion. That is why suppression failed. So that was just all I really wanted to do. And it goes into each one of the different 7 things. And speaking of 7, there she go right there. What up, 7? I know you probably can't hear me, but we on YouTube, you know what I'm saying? And so let's get to this video real quick. Wait, before we get to the video, let me see what the good people are saying about this. First and foremost, the poll says, why WACK100 lie about his Texas gun case? 20% voted that's when he started ratting. Somebody else, 6% said because Wacko on his helmet. 7% said it'll blow his cover, and 66% of y'all said all of the above. Come on, man. We got 100 and some people up in here. Bang that like button. Hype me up in the algorithm. We finna get into this video, man. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know who it is. The GOAT. My brother from another. Scandalous. Los Angeles. TV. Let's go.
To intimidate victim 1, defendant Henley told victim 1 that Henley had seen WACK100 with his wife and daughter and said, there's 50 to 20s with us. Hoodies tied down. I got my hoodie on, all black, tied down. She like, boom, she jumped in the car, paid for blah, blah. then took off. Boom, just screaming, my wife, Charles, I see you, Eugene. I see you, Eugene Helly, I see you. He's screaming all that. He got his blower. He got his blower out, but he's fucked up because nobody's around him. We like, bitch ass. I'm like, yeah. He like, yo, you want to die here, man? Don't do this. My wife, my kids. Charles. Don't do this. He's screaming.
Skechers has the perfect holiday gift for everyone. Hands-free, cozy fit.
Hey, but I want y'all to pay attention to something. Big U's caught on wiretap telling this story to Marley Marl, who Wack calls his brother, who ran back and told Wack. You know what I'm saying? He told me you're an informant to stop fucking with you and all of that. But Big U telling the story admits that WACK100 pulled Blammer, right? WACK100 pulled out a gun. This is on wiretap. But they didn't have no issue with WACK100, an ex-felon, carrying a gun, just like Texas thought that it was in the interest of justice to dismiss his gun case. This is nasty work. We gonna show multiple incidents where this nigga had blink, show, blink, flash, blink, admit he had blink, and the feds don't feel that he's an ex-felon like him is a threat. I wonder why.
Los Angeles TV, where we expose the exposers. In this episode, we're circling back to revisit some of CS2 Badges' lies. I know some of you thought we'd let this one slide, but no, we're not letting anything slide. We're here to nitpick every little contradiction Porky makes, just to show how deep the deception really goes. You heard what DJ Academic said at the beginning. He was reading straight from the paperwork, connected to Big U's wiretap.
Right,
Big U was detailing what really went down that night at the Novo, when they ran into Porky in the parking lot. And you heard it clear as day. Wack crying, pleading, talking about his wife and kids being inside the building. But after that, Porky jumped on No Jumper, sat across from Traplore Ross, and tried to spin a whole different story. He even attempted to bully Ross for something Ross said about what was in the paperwork. Of course, Porky Chops had to change up the narrative. That's what people do when the paperwork doesn't match the persona. So here's what we're going to do today. First, we'll let you hear Porky's version of events. His so-called military operation, his heroic fantasy. Then we're going to let you hear him tell on himself, straight from his own mouth on Clubhouse, where his story sounds nothing like what he told Traplore Ross. Once again, the lies unravel themselves. Let's get into it.
You know I'm allowing you to question me right now, right? You did some punk shit the other day. See, the only difference is you usually do what you did the other day sitting over there in London somewhere, right? And you're not here, right? It's a lot of places you can't go. You send Adam something as if it was a clip of something I did I wasn't supposed to do.
No, he sent me a screenshot of a page from the indictment.
Okay, that's cool.
Where Big U was recorded on a wiretap, basically saying that he punked you out with a whole bunch of people, and it had a quote that he attributed to you, but it wasn't an actual video or recording. This was Big U's version of events.
Hold on. You're the receiver. So since you read everything, right? Tread lightly with this. Tread lightly with this. Tread lightly with this. Listen to the
threats.
Because I've been telling myself for the last couple minutes not to really do nothing to you, not to really do nothing to you, not to really do nothing to you.
Stop the cap.
Because I know what you was trying to do. Okay. So since you so thorough, did you read what Big U said he did to me? No, either you gonna play smart or dumb. Did you read it?
Yes. Can I say one thing?
What did you
can I
find
say one thing in my defense first?
That's the bullshit and the real shit.
But can I say one thing in my defense
I
first?
just want to know what you read.
I feel like stuff that Adam said that he put source on top of. I just sent him an image of the indictment and said, "Have you seen this?" You went in the room and you said a bunch of stuff.
No, you said in that page.
Added on.
You said in that page. So I'm asking you, you're just gonna let me know where you at with me.
There's no turning back.
What's the name of the movie, Juvie?
And don't forget, Porky's doing all of this to trap Law Ross,
Usual Johnson,
while fully knowing he's
bro.
about to sit there and feed him a complete lie. Keep that in mind as we listen.
Did you read that and did you use your brain to understand why and why not? So I'm a dude that just violated Big U like no other human being, right? Violated him.
For sure.
2-3 years, right?
That's such a claim to fame now that Big U is like the ultimate bad guy of LA.
No.
Him being able to say that he violated is like him saying he went up against Al Capone.
No.
To tell the tale.
No, you gotta remember. I don't see Big U the way y'all see Big U.
On Gilly and Wallow's show, Porky openly said he picked Big U as the biggest Crip of all time. He said he chose Big U over Crip founders Raymond Washington and Tookie Williams. He sat there listing off all of Big U's accolades, giving him all his flowers. But then Porky gets on No Jumper and suddenly says, "I don't see Big U the way everybody else does." See how that works? This is just Porky trying to position himself like he's above everybody else, like he's on some level of insight or authority that the rest of us don't have.
I know.
Big U sat on my couch with his head down, scared straight in situations where he needed our help at,
And did y'all catch that? Porky just said, where he needed our help.
Who is our?
Not my help. Our help.
Needed 13.
Why is that?
Salute.
Because once again, Porky is inserting himself into something that had nothing to do with him. He's trying to make it sound like Big U was running to him and his imaginary team for help. But let's ask Porky the real question. Who exactly is our? Why won't you just say he needed your help? Who is this so-called group you're speaking for? Because it sounds like you're trying to create this illusion, like there's some big collective of people Big U was leaning on, when really, it's just you talking to yourself, trying to look more important than you are. That's the game. Inflate the story. Inflate yourself. But we see right through it.
I don't see him that way. A motherfucker who I had to pay rent and help take care of his family.
Let's talk about another one of Porky's lies. Big U owned multiple homes. So how in the world could CS2 Badges be out here claiming he paid Big U's rent? If you helped him with anything at all, it would have been to help with a mortgage payment, not rent. That's just common sense. But here's what's even funnier. Notice how Porky and Lucy both lean on this same tired talking point. Oh, we gave him some money. We helped pay his rent. Like that's some badge of honor. If someone is really your friend, and they fall on hard times, isn't helping them out what you're supposed to do? If a man hits a rough patch and you slide him some money, that's not a flex. That's just being a decent human being. But these dudes turn it into a talking point, a power play. I'm not scared of him. I don't see him the way y'all see him because I helped him one time with some money. Are you kidding me? And don't forget, all of this is built on a lie anyway.
Hey, somebody on
everything Porky's saying
is
just to distract you from the real truth. He was in that parking lot that night, screaming for his life.
Exposing the compromise.
That's the reality he's trying to rewrite.
Who then sat on my couch and said, help me? I don't see that dude as that, right? But if you read that, right, it says, we was 15, 20 deep, right? And we caught him. And he was by himself, right? You do know I jumped out on them. You do know I wasn't walking. I'm in a car with 800 horsepower in it, right? I'm very capable of whatever, right? You do know my homeboys was adjacent to them, but they didn't even, that they had no idea they was there, right?
The Henny Man.
Right?
That's new information.
You do understand that, right?
Yo, I'm here.
He's
Big
screaming.
This is my block.
Big Ack, how you living? Oh my God.
Now
he's
we
in here
got
with a
Mount
360
Pod
kick.
Boy right here, bro.
Hello,
We set you in the
Shay.
middle.
How you doing? First time meeting.
Come on.
IRL.
Hold on. We got to get to this right here.
He's trying to pack
Sit
out
down. We on
Trapper
some
right
bullshit
now.
right now.
I'm
Yeah,
getting
we need
pressed
a judge.
as we speak, Ack.
Hold on.
We need someone to litigate this
No,
situation.
hold on. Watch this.
I'm glad I'm here at ground zero, man. This is where all the indictments.
Watch this. So let me give it
This
to
is
you.
where
Right?
all the indictments
Hey, man, I
started.
brought my badge too. Brought my badge too.
I brought my
Y'all
badge
this up,
too.
man. Avengers. They got me.
Yo,
they got
Mount
Adam.
Pod-
They got Black.
Mount Podmore.
Shout out to the new
No
recruit
federal
Remo.
members.
He the undercover.
So
He
listen.
the worst undercover.
yeah.
Hold on. Let's
No,
get back
who
to
said
it.
the
right?
undercover had a stutter?
The undercover had a stutter.
We're eyeing up
Actually, no. Won't you read it?
Look, I just
No,
feel
I
like
want you to
I
read
feel
it.
like
No,
I
I
will
want
read
you to
it.
read it.
I'll read it.
I want
no,
to read
I'll
it.
read it. Can
Read
I
it.
say something
read
before
it.
I read it? Because it's
Read
very
it.
important.
I
Context.
want you to read it.
All right, I'll
I
read
want
it.
to see how
I'll
smart
read
you
it,
are.
and then I'll give what I thought of it, and then I'm
Go
going to
ahead,
repeat
read
what
it.
Adam said about it.
Listen,
because
I
you
want a
spun
dramatic reading.
You spun it crazy.
I want you to read it dramatically.
Hey, third, y'all out there?
Before y'all get to that,
I'm gonna expose something
Don't bring
that
the
I
Pacoima
never
out.
exposed.
Yo, Wack,
Oh, wow. Okay.
I'm so glad you're my friend because all your ops just go to jail, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Oh.
All your ops, every nigga don't like you, they going down in the ball of flame, man.
I'm a legal
Yo,
guy,
Wack's my
man.
friend. I'm telling you.
Go ahead, read it. Read it.
Henley
I'm on him for doing his weird shit. Go ahead.
Henley recounted to victim one, and this is on a wiretap, right? So bear in mind, this is very important. This is Big U bragging about doing this on a wiretap to somebody
On
else,
the phone.
not
Go
knowing
ahead.
that he's being listened to, right?
Read it.
Henley recounted to victim one an incident in which Henley and Rolling 60s gang members chased down WACK100, WACK100, WACK100.
Sixers, Knicks, Thunder, Wolves, Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern.
This
on
nasty
Prime.
work, bro.
The holiday season
They
is
take
here,
down
and CNN
WACK 100.
to unique gifts at the
At this point, it's almost normal. We should all be used to it by now. Seeing CS2 badge's name pop up in somebody else's paperwork shouldn't even surprise anybody anymore. Once again, this man's name is showing up in paperwork, and somehow it never matters. But here's where it gets ridiculous. CS2 back wants us to believe that the feds have wiretaps of Big U saying all this happened to him. And yet, magically, they never went to CS2 back to ask him about it. He wants us to think his name just landed in that paperwork, out of nowhere, and he had no clue about anything. Then look at what he said on Clubhouse. He told Tiny Drawls that, "Your uncle, Big Drawls, got Drew down on." We all know the feds were listening to that. He even said he pulled a gun out right there. But nobody investigates. Nobody comes asking questions. Make that make sense.
Attempting to hurt him. Quote, there's 15 to 20 dudes with us with hoodies tied down. I got my hoodie on, all black, tied down. She boom, she jumped in the car, paid for, redacted, and then took off. Boom, this dude screaming. My wife, draws. I see you, Eugene. I see you. Eugene Henley, I see you. He's screaming all of that. He's got his blower. His blower's out.
Allegations.
But he's messed up. I gotta read the whole thing. But he's
So Wack got his blower out. So y'all mean to tell me that this is in Big U's indictment? This is in Big U's indictment. And it's mentioned in WACK 100, Cash Jones. And it's on the wiretap. And y'all telling me that the FBI, the DEA, the ATF, or the Joint Task Force, who he already had relations with, right? From the raid on the Main Street case, that they didn't go question him, that wasn't probable cause to search his house and see whether or not he had a pistol. Oh, okay. They don't care if this ex-felon comes out with a pistol. Common sense. This is how you know a nigga working without having to see the paperwork. Nigga, they got you pulling out blick and you steadily telling us the feds have not talked to you in relations to the Novo incident, in relations to Big U, but yet you connected to Loose Cannon Ashley, you connected to Big U in the Checking In podcast. You say that the first Checking In podcast was at your studio. They pulled the trailer up to your studio, right? You connected to Molly Mall. You connected to Longtail Dale the Rat. You connected to everybody telling on him and making statements against him, but the feds have not came to see what you know. Go figure.
Messed up because nobody's around. We like bitch ass dude. I'm like, yeah, bitch ass dude. He's like something. He's like redacted. Die here, man. Don't do this. My wife, my kids in that car. Drawers. Don't do this. He's screaming.
Now you tell.
He was about to turn you into.
I want to see how smart you are. I've been violating him for 2 years. Violating him, calling him rats, snitches. He came up there 20 deep to get me, right? And he's telling me some word. What stopped him from fucking with me?
So look, no, this is important. I'm about to give you this. Let me get to it. My interpretation of this, me personally, and bear in mind, my interpretation wasn't put out there. Adam hopped on the live and said, no. This is so crucial. I want you to tell me, because I'm gonna get to mine. Mine's okay. Adam hopped on there and said Wack was begging for his life. I didn't say that. You put source on that.
I want you to listen.
Adam's the source on it.
I want you to tell me what you get from that.
This is what I'm trying to get to.
Why didn't he touch me?
I get to it is because you might not want to admit this. You had your blower.
Okay.
You're begging him.
You might not want to admit to this. You had your blower. So Trap Lord Ross said you had your blower. Everybody here, all these podcasters are knowing this ex-felon is being permitted by the feds. Why antagonizing their target, Big U, while being mentioned as an adversary of Big U, and they're allowing him to carry a burner with impunity.
Not to kill him.
Now stop right there.
Right?
Like Clubhouse.
If I got my blower and you 20 deep with hoodies and I'm by myself, right? No begging to plead. That's when you really do it, right? What do you think my mentality was? For a dude not to approach me and you come to get me, and I jump out my car talking, what kind of conversation you think I'm having to make a dude say, don't nobody move?
I agree with you.
Now,
I feel like blick talk.
I feel
like y'all out there.
You probably was on that Soulja Boy shit.
Now I'm about to expose something nobody ever knew.
Okay.
So here it goes, right?
Ground zero,
I'm here. All of this is a parking lot, right?
For indictment.
I'm here. They walk down. They walk right past my car. They didn't even see me. When I seen them get here, I jumped out. Y'all looking for me? Right?
Shit.
They stopped. They back was to me. Y'all, I had everything I had. I could have dealt with everything in front of me. Now, what they didn't know is I'm talking to my team. Big Unim is here. Now, watch this. Look, watch this. Big Unim is here. I'm here out the car. Third, who was here, and here?
You taking notes?
Hold on. Third, who in that parking lot when I'm confronting these 20 Crips was 20 to 30 feet in every direction and they didn't know it?
Get everybody Skechers slip-ins. Listen.
Oh, this nigga know how to run his mouth. This is how he gonna be his downfall. Always running that big ass yap. Let's go, man.
My homies was behind him.
That's new information.
Listen.
That's new information, man.
So listen, check this out. So when I'm letting you know, there's no need to beg nothing. What did I tell that fool?
Let's do it.
My home, they still don't know to this day that all my homies was positioned 11 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 6 o'clock. They didn't even see them. I'm talking to my homies in code, letting them know which way I'm going to push them. I said, nigga, ain't nothing but 20 of y'all. I'm going to down 3 of y'all. I just told him I'm going to get off in 3s.
This dude detailed with 4 of the top podcasts on YouTube. He detailed how he's going to get off with this weapon he's already admitted to having in 3s on Big U. And the feds haven't come to talk to him. This nigga working. That's enough right there. I just wanted to prove that point before we got to the next video. And then we're going to let y'all know a little bit about this dude, Princess. You know what I'm saying? How he get treated over there on the 100 EBT side. You know, they treat him real special over there. We'll get to that next. But hold on, let's go here first, right? Y'all looking for me? Here I go. I'm going to get off in threes. And you ain't heard from the Alphabet Boys yet. Imagine Duse M did some shit like that.
Wait.
Hey, no, answer this question.
Listen.
Answer
I'm
this
gonna
question.
make this announcement right here.
We
I'm
need
gonna
answers.
Get out the way.
We
when
need
here,
answers.
Don't go to Holland. Well, no, nigga. I'm going to get out of the way.
I'm standing on what I say.
Man do what he want to do.
You giving
guns to niggas, right? What's up with this?
What generation? What generation?
They know who they is.
So you giving Kiwe's Kiwe's guns?
Oh, well, yeah, nigga. What? This whole neighborhood I didn't get that with. And what?
I'm saying that's weird.
What happened? What happened?
My own kind.
Yeah, what happened at the House of Blues?
They was going at their own, my nigga. They was going at their own, my nigga.
I'm muting up.
Yeah, for real though.
That nigga said he supplied whole hoods with guns. So the feds is allowing all of this to go on. They cool with it. He can supply the whole hood with guns. This is just a consistent message, right? This is a very consistent message that he puts out there, which is easily probable cause in the least. But
smoke weed every day.
Smoke weed every day.
You can't say that. You don't smoke weed.
Who don't?
You.
I do smoke weed.
Shut up.
What you mean?
Since
man?
when? I thought you were Mr. 100% drug free. Nah.
My little I use zigzags.
You're not gonna gaslight me.
I use zigzags.
What do you put in it?
Weed.
What kind?
What you mean?
What kind of weed you like?
I just do endo, bro.
Indo. What's Indo?
Indo.
Tell me about Indo.
What you mean?
Tell me what's it feel like? What makes it Indo?
Like? It's Indo. The song Indo Smoke make it Indo.
Yeah, but I just like that the last song.
Indica.
The last song you've heard about weed was in the 90s.
You probably saw.
There's all you missed Wiz Khalifa. You want to smoke weed, you gotta go listen to Cushion Orange Juice.
Man, listen, they got 7 million names. They call this shit all kind of shit.
Yeah.
Weed scares me. Ain't no way all of a sudden they got crystals. No, those are chemicals.
They spray it.
No, they don't spray shit.
No, they do. They spray like this
tubes.
Weird shit on it now.
They got these little tubes that's running to all the little planters. They got this big thing. I watched them. They put all these chemicals, dump that shit in there, it mixes it, and it feeds it. Then you got a motherfucker walking around with a water hose, watering this shit. Because they don't trust the automatic thing, because if it goes out.
But it feels like you're describing the normal safe part about cultivating marijuana.
What I'm saying is the chemicals, right, that they're feeding the weed.
You can't just look at it and know that there are chemicals involved.
Motherfucker, bullshit.
If anything, I've talked to a lot of these weed growers, and they complain about the fact that because of the laws that have been put in place through legislation and legalization, that they aren't able to use the trusty pesticides that they used to be able to use. They have to grow it more natural in this modern environment. Weed is probably safer now.
No, none of these dudes with these little licenses.
Be honest. When's the last time you hit the blunt?
I don't even know how to NLXL.
Well, you're doing it right now.
No, the last thing I used was the cigarette, but it was candy, it's gum, and it's
candy
powdery,
cigarette,
and it's powdery,
not weed.
No,
it's made of sugar.
But you can't inhale. You just got like blow it out.
I had one of those. I had a pack of those the other day. I bought it as a joke, and then I started eating them all.
This is the thing.
Okay. Yeah, thank you.
The stipulations, the restrictions, and the taxes that they have on that shit. No way a shop can survive just doing that. Everybody's got a backdoor.
Oh yeah, you hear that a lot,
bro. It's some crazy shit. And if they said the dude come in and test it, if it's pesticides, they burn the shit.
Yeah.
Imagine you got 50 pounds, 200 pounds you've been growing for 90 days, and it don't pass the test. But they burning it? Come on, bro.
What would you do if you had 50 pounds?
Straight mark.
Nothing.
Who would you call?
Nobody.
You've been a naughty boy.
I'll leave that shit right where it's at. I won't touch it. You can put 50 kilos of cocaine, 200 pounds of weed, whatever you want in my driveway.
You'll walk away.
I'm going to call 911 and tell them somebody left something in my driveway.
What if you find a duffel bag with $100,000 in it?
I'm not fucking with it.
Where, like, if you find it, I don't know. I can't think of a reasonable place that you would find $100,000 in a duffel bag, but okay. Yeah, I can't.
I'm going to tell you why.
Okay. Why? You think it would be a setup?
It's too risky. At this point in my life, I got so many things. You know, you on the brink to 3-4 things happening.
What are you on the brink of?
Bro, I got a lot of overseas business.
You might be on the brink of losing your mind.
No, this is real shit.
Oh, okay.
If you're on the brink of 3-4 things happening, and then I feel like if something like that pops up, it's like a test. This is the test to see if you're going to go that way or you're going to go that way. And it's like, this real shit. If I woke up, if I drove right now, got home, and it was a duffel bag, $300,000, another duffel bag with 20 keys of cocaine, another duffel bag with a bunch of shit, listen to me. I'm going to call 911 and say some things in my driveway, send the people out to get it. I'm not fucking with it.
That's good. Very responsible. I don't know if I would have the same self-control, though.
I'm cool. I'm not for it.
But the reason why I say that you've been a very bad boy. Previously on this podcast, you've challenged me. You've said you've never seen me with the you-know-what on me.
Who?
You. You've pointed that out before. You've said you've never seen me with anything.
Well, that's what I'm going to say. Are we like...
And then I see the clip of you and Flacco, and I did not catch it upon first inspection.
So
but
what?
The clip of you running up on Flacco. But when I review the tape...
What'd you review?
I noticed a little something in there.
What, my second cell phone?
No.
That's all that was.
Really?
That's it.
So that wasn't a gun?
Fuck no.
You have multiple cell phones?
I got 2 cell phones.
Where's it right now?
In the car.
You just keep it strapped to your
the
hip?
number?
Strap it to your hip?
Yeah, I got a, the clip, but I clip it inside.
Uh-huh.
You want the number? You can call it right now.
I don't want to call that thing.
I don't. What you talking about? But you want to be real? You don't be slipping. I've definitely seen.
Why are you always trying to expose me for that?
No, I've definitely seen you right.
Okay.
Like, so you asking the question?
Allegedly. I'm just saying you got exposed. So you're the one who's on the chopping block. See, that's snitch right there. That's snitching.
I'm not.
I put you on the chopping block, and then you immediately like, well, you did it too.
No, because I'm correcting you. You don't be slipping.
That doesn't have anything to do with me putting you on the chopping block.
You said that I said.
I put you on the block.
I'm not, though.
I'm trying to chop.
I'm not. My security be outside. Right. I don't even be in the front.
Uh-huh. Well,
So now he's confronted again about when he ran up on Flacco with the blick. The blick was showing. Let me see if we got that on WACK100 rushes Poetic Jala. Poetic Jala hate me. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you get more if you dealt with me, if you were nice with me, man, fuck you, nigga. I don't need you, nigga. You here today, gone tomorrow. Let's go. Y'all remember this?
Mm-hmm. Then the weed shit.
Yeah.
Then the merch shit.
Yeah.
Then the food shit.
Yeah.
We
fuck with everybody.
Yeah,
that's some shit.
Nah. Hey, yo, I might have to pull the belly.
Yeah. You go what?
I might have to start hating on these niggas.
You got to hate on us? Damn, like that? Come on. I don't think
Stop the time on them niggas.
Hey, Wack, come on, blood. Hey, hold on, bro. I ain't gonna hate on what I help fertilize. You know what I'm saying?
I can dig it.
Flacco.
Yo, what I do, man?
I asked you to keep your phone on, bro.
You gotta stop talking to Flacco right now. You know he ain't talking with food in his face.
What you mean?
No, wait. I'm gonna stop.
Flacco, you need to come see me before I leave, Flacco. I'm trying to help
you. Yeah, man.
Because they want to get you.
What? Wait, what I do though? I've been minding my business.
You're being used, Flacco.
He just said he the most wanted.
But you gotta stop letting niggas use you. Cause see, I know you don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
But you let niggas come on your thing.
Yeah.
And for one, you did some weird shit. That's your thing. But you let them niggas diss my hood, bro. And I can't control them niggas. Listen, let me tell you the difference between you South Central shit
she just got real.
and Pacoima. My projects are 4 miles that way.
That's a fact. No, true.
You're in the valley.
Yeah.
So you got niggas doing shit because you trying to show love and they want to play with me, but that's bigger than playing with me. Like if you diss Insane, that ain't just them.
Yeah.
It's all kind of niggas that don't do social media and shit that don't do that, but you done took it upon yourself, left some shit in the building, right?
Okay.
And now they should at least have enough respect to say, well, we know Wack don't fuck with us. I ain't trying to block nothing. I'll let you do your shit.
Of course. It's
but don't have them, they on your platform dissing. That shit gonna lead to some shit.
Well, it's not like my show though. Like
it was your show. I got niggas from prison sending me the shit because they think I'm here every day.
No, true though, but it's not my show, right?
It's your show.
No, the title is
you got them up there.
Yes, right?
Yeah. So either
no,
you gonna do what you gotta do, or they gonna do it like you gonna have to make a decision, bro.
Here, bro, but like here, right? Think it's
ain't
this,
enough
though,
for
right?
discussion, bro. You from North Dakota.
No, true, right? Like, but like in
Flacco, I'm not trying to hear nothing. I tell you what.
No, but it's not my show though. Like it's
what I'm
their
gonna
show
do.
too, you know.
This what I'm gonna do.
If you don't mind me asking, what exactly was
no, it ain't they show. You let them in, nigga.
Right.
You let them in, nigga. Stop playing with me, nigga.
But
you let them in. I'm not playing with you, nigga. You let them in, nigga. You playing games.
But it's not my show,
Dakota nigga playing games. I'm not Brick Baby. I start with you right here.
But it's not my show though.
Okay, I tell you what. This what I'm gonna do. When my homies get here, I'm gonna act like I'm not here.
But it's not my show though.
That's cool.
You feel me?
I'm gonna tell them this ain't not my show.
But it's not my show though. Like you feel me, right? Like
you the one got them in the build, nigga.
No, true that, Wack. Yes,
you got them in the building.
Yes, but it's not my show.
If I bring the nigga in the building, and they get to disrespecting some people in the building, and I'm not gonna look at me. I'm gonna tell the niggas, look, bro, you in the building, do your podcasting.
Yeah,
but leave that other shit because it's a reflection on me.
No, true. Yeah.
Like, stop playing them games, bro. I don't give a fuck about none of this shit.
Yeah, true that.
Basically, what he's saying, Flock, is if you got some niggas up in the building, bro, as soon as they start disrespecting somebody else that work here,
you already know it's a problem with me and these niggas.
Cut it off.
Because you said something to creep already.
About what?
You said, man, I know Wack. I don't know. And one of them niggas in line.
See, Wack was on Flacco for bringing Spider-Lope and Munchie B to No Jumper, saying, you know, I got a problem with them niggas, right? And so what he's trying to do is control who's at No Jumper. This nigga is really gatekeeping No Jumper, and he's afraid to have these type of members around No Jumper that he can't manipulate, that might hold him accountable for his big mouth. And then he got P Nice soft ass up here. DW Flame already had a relationship with him through the Nick Cannon connection as they were friends. This is nasty work.
Until you told you we cool. I'm not cool with none of them niggas. But you do your shit. But you ain't finna give them niggas a platform to be dissing my set, homie.
So I got a question, Wack. If somebody came up in here and on your platform when you was doing your show and they started disrespecting Flock, what would you tell them?
I'm not gonna let it happen. Right? And then getting at an individual. Let me ask you something. If a nigga sitting in front of me, keep it real.
Talk to me.
In front of me in that room. And a nigga just outright just insane. Right in front of me on my show. What I'm gonna do, Dad?
You gotta correct them niggas, or I'm gonna feel some type of way about you.
There you go.
Me and you gonna have to holler.
That's a problem. That's a problem. And this is why I keep telling you.
How you gonna have somebody else trying to regulate some niggas dissing your hood? Nigga, I ain't from your hood. Nigga, I ain't taking on your motherfucking enemies. That's what cowards do, bro. Nigga, if you big and bad, why don't you pull up on them niggas while they podcasting and no jumper? Bust ass, nigga. Watch this shit.
You, bro, stay Flacco. They the nigga from North Dakota. You letting these niggas drag you, the wrong niggas drag you into shit. And while you showing love, they're using you. They know that when my homies see that, they gonna call me, and then it's a conversation with you. For what? When you showing them niggas love. Right? I could have called you, what you doing, nigga? I don't trip, do your shit. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Y'all do y'all thing. But nigga, at some point, if you think that your platform is gonna be a platform they got to come diss my neighborhood, then you're gonna find out what it is.
Wait, but like, hey, bro, but like, no jumper is not my platform, it's Adam's platform, right? And the show itself.
Hey, listen.
Hold on. What up?
Bring him up out of here. Nephew, he keep playing. You keep playing. The nigga just played me talking about some nut. Boy, you're right. What you saying? I don't want to be.
Now they done blocked and edited it all out.
Let me holler at you. Since it ain't Joe's show. Sit down, bro. Come on out here. This is our show, cuz. Come on out here.
Here, man.
Bring him out.
It's on my platform.
Bro, I'm not.
I'm going out there.
No.
I didn't even know y'all serious like that. Damn. That's a good clip, Mikey. I'm talking about.
So they blocked it out. Y'all see that they done went and blocked it out now afterward. But just think back when it first came out, and if you see, no other clip show when they were pointing out to the blower, blowing it up and all of that. But my point is this. WACK100 lies about his Texas gun case and the government not having a problem with him and his brother, 2 ex-felons, going through Texas with a rifle, a shotgun, a pistol, and 800 rounds of ammunition. They don't got no problem with that. That comes off very weird. That case dismissed in the interest of justice. Wack said he stood in as an attorney for his brother. That is strange. In Texas, under Texas law, you gotta have you gotta pass the bar to represent anybody as in court, bro. The fact that he said he represented his brother some days at court, the court allowed him to do that. It's telling you, nigga, he worked that off for him and his brother. He gave him something big. And then all of the gun shit. He admitting that he pulled Big Blick out at the Novo. The feds didn't have a problem with that. He lied. Say the feds never came and talked to him about that. These are the type of things and symbols that when you see the cumulative effect, time after time after time, where you're permitted to do criminal activity, make criminal threats to trap Lord Ross, insinuating you were contemplating violence on him, to Poetic Flacco, to I forgot the white boy name on Clubhouse, Jeremy, right? Texas, Main Street Crip, WACK100, CS2 backs. That's a fact. But look, but then he had his dick suckers come up on here trying to dick pull and cheerlead this paperwork away like it was just gonna go away. Nah. It ain't that easy, Playboy. So we got a clip. Let me show you how he be treating these bitch ass kids.
What you on, bro?
Hold on, let me make sure. So the dude that we heard sucking them off, the Oscar Mayer Mafia Golden Knee Pad Award goes to.
Talk about it. If I gotta find out, I'm a trip. So who brought it up?
I brought it up. What?
Who was that bitch nigga?
That's me, Prince. I brought it up.
Prince, is you a faggot or something, nigga?
Not at all, Wack.
Not at all, Wack.
What you on, bro? You been to the military, you was sucking dick in the military or something, bro?
Not at all,
Wack. What you on, bro? You wanna talk about a little boy sucking a man's toes, nigga? Is that what you on, nigga? That's your mind?
Not at all.
What the fuck is you on, bro?
Nothing.
My mind say get as far away from that shit as possible. You run into it, my nigga.
Not at all. That shit was content. You asked for the recap. I said some shit happened in late night.
You do a lot of little weird ass shit.
Here you come.
Oh, y'all niggas be thinking I don't know what the fuck going on. Dreas, don't fuck with this nigga right here.
But now he fucking with
He's your enemy. Ain't that right, Prince? Ain't that right,
I don't have
Prince?
my enemies on the Hunter side, Wack.
Do a lot of weird ass shit. I run this shit, nigga, like the penitentiary yard, nigga. And those y'all ain't been there, yeah, is at a disadvantage. Cause what the fuck you think I don't know, I know. Talk about it if I gotta.
That's how you talk to Prince. The nigga that was just sucking them off, read the motherfucking Wack's lawyers part of motion to suppress. Wack is 5'4", 270 pounds. Who the fuck is scared of this rat? This shit was staged, or Flacco wasn't thinking about this rat. Right, renegade old Freddy wouldn't hurt a fly. What's poppin'? Aftermath salute. Yeah, that nigga scared of Wack, bro. Because Wack got access to him. Wack only gets along with IRPS. He really don't know. So that's a phone that fell, huh? Pump Fake King. I definitely remember that. This is why I don't watch that mess. Who is this bozo shaking my head? He for sure is one of CS2 folks. That never happened. He's a felon. Right. He didn't mention the diaper business overseas, though. The feds saw Brick Baby, but not Wax Gun. Yeah, right. Last call for alcohol. Yeah, they mentioned that in Brick Baby paperwork. But they ain't got that ain't bringing that up on Wack. This is crazy. The no jumper beatdown, they not bringing that up. How can a man sit there getting verbally abused? Because he's a bitch. He sucked Wack toes. Suck more than that. Where do we get them from, man? Listen, they be on Clubhouse thirsty. Like, they don't know nobody. These is out of town niggas. So, Bomani, salute, what's up, baby? So they get on the internet. They think he's bigger than life because they heard him on the internet. Like, what he's doing is real. The internet is not real, bro. 98% of the shit that's supposed to be beef on the internet is fake, frauds, niggas that ain't gonna do nada. I'm one of them, except if I see CS2 back. You know what I'm saying? But, or if somebody threaten me and mine, I'm gonna protect mine by any means necessary at that point. But outside of that, you ain't got me. You ain't got, bro. These people get on there. He tells them all of these stories about all the money they got. The economy's fucked up right now up under Trump, especially for black people. Right now, the unemployment for black people is the lowest it's been since the recession. Imagine that. He set us back already now like 16 years. And they continue to cut anything that has to do with helping our community. They gonna bleed us. It's only gonna get worse. But these are the people that have no jobs. They're on Clubhouse all day with no goals, short-term, long-term, no means, no resources. So they look at him as somebody who they believe has resources, as somebody that if they hang around, they'll be able to have access to this. Like Wack is going to do something for him. He's their only hope to escape their miserable reality. See, that shit didn't work with me. Tata, shout out the homie Tata. Shout out E Fouché at E1. Shout out Jazzy Management. Ghazi from Empire. Shout out Val TV Network. Shout out livestreamers.com. Shout out Sinclair Digital, Sinclair Broadcasting, and shout out Cox Media. I've been plugged, nigga. I did music. Nigga, I've been an executive. So I don't look at this nigga and then look at this nigga as my only way in. I'm already in. It's about making it happen, finishing this documentary, getting my app going, get these motion pictures going, get these reality TV shows going, get my podcast popping. Them dudes they haven't even done that. So they look at him and he knows it. He knows that they coming to use him. He knows that they don't give two shits about him. And he knows that a lot of them are busters. They never even had fights in their life. So he feels he has a tactical advantage of them and he tries them. Psychological, YA game. Push his line and spread his legs as wide as possible to see how much space he could get. He could go over another nigga's space. And when a buster like this nigga Prince do that and he sees how passive he is, he know he ain't a wolf. He ain't got it in him. So what he gonna do? He gonna keep him around. He's gonna make him his do boy, his cheerleader. Put these panties on, bitch. Thong. Walk around this motherfucker. You was doing weird shit. Yeah, nigga, you lucky I don't slap your bitch ass now. And because he's accustomed to being treated like a buster, being treated like a bitch, he's comfortable in that zone and in that position. And Wack plays the dominance. He plays an alpha. But we all know he didn't have that energy with Tiny Draws. We know he didn't have that energy with J-Rock. We know he didn't have that energy with the Bomb and Paul Rules. We know right now he don't got that energy with Duse M. He didn't have that energy with Big U. And he don't got that energy with Wacko. Peep the signs and symbols. Keep your third eye open, man. Hey, salute. We out of here. Damu Kiwe. Conversation.